Welcome to a new episode of PECS Politics. It's been a while, and to be honest with you, despite the name, I did wonder whether to keep my top on. I've not broadcasted for a while because, well, in a way there have been so many things I wanted to talk about, so many things have happened since the last time we talked. And so many things which, as well, just got me angry and frustrated and passionate, and I just thought, why do people want to hear what you have to say? The truth is, nobody does really. It's just me venting. I guess the other question is, why are you getting yourself so angry about this? You don't even live in the UK anymore, which is one country which is fucking frustrating the fuck out of me. Why do you care so fucking much? And why do I give a shit about British people anymore? English people. And they're different, and I use them differently for various reasons. English people are from England, British people are from Britain. If you don't know the difference, Britain is made up of England, Scotland, Wales. The United Kingdom is made up of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. I'm no proud Brit, I never have been, and I'm certainly not now. I miss my family. I love the village I come from in England. I spent many years living in London and I enjoyed that. I lived in Manchester and I enjoyed that. And I lived in Scotland and I liked living in Scotland as well. And I think it's a wonderful country, and the city of Glasgow is a wonderful city. So is Edinburgh, lovely cities. But I'm not a proud Englishman. I had hoped that for many years, when I grew up, and when I became woke, as they're saying nowadays, I hate the word, but I'm going to use it because it's on trend. When I became woke at the age of 14, you know what woke me? What woke me was learning about the horrible things that human beings have ever done to each other. And particularly, the more and more that we as a society seem to learn to understand that life is to be respected, that life has value, the more and more we seem to realize that the worst things we seem to do to each other. And it didn't seem to change. And what else frustrates me so much is how stupid people are. And you're looking at me thinking, oh, well, there's a white middle-class Englishman going on about stupid people. He went to university, he had a privileged upbringing, you know. Okay, I would probably say I was lower middle class, I guess, I don't know, upper working class, I've got no idea. I don't give a fuck about class. I was brought up by two teachers. One of them was brought up in Leigh-on-Sea by a gas man and a mother who was an untrained teacher but became a teacher. At the time she didn't need qualification. And my dad, was from a much more privileged upbringing, from a middle class family. His father rose the ranks even, to become a general manager for a large insurance company and manage Scotland and Northern Ireland. My family weren't particularly wealthy, but we were brought up, and one of the things my parents valued was education. And actually I think that is one of the most valuable things. And education doesn't stop. When you become 16 and you graduate from school, or 18, whatever age, or when you leave university, or you graduate your master's degree, or a PhD. Education doesn't stop. It carries the fuck on. Ignorance is an affliction. We all suffer. You know, we all suffer because there's no way we can all learn everything about everything. I mean, that's just the realms of very few people. Even those people who claim to know everything don't know everything. I mean, even Stephen Fry had his QI elves to help him out. Nobody knows everything. We're all ignorant about something. You know, you ask Stephen Fry about, I don't know, about Transformers or the Teletubbies or, I don't know, probably the rules of football. I certainly don't know anything much about the rules of football. I've got no idea. My parents were both maths teachers. My brother got one of the highest marks in maths and further maths in his year in the whole country. He went on to university, Oxford University, to study engineering. I fucking hated maths. I didn't bother trying. I was the black sheep of the family. I was seen as the thicko. I was the stupid one because I was ignorant. That's what ignorance is. Stupidity. I was stupid about something. I hadn't got the knowledge. I've admitted before, and I admit again, I'm stupid about a lot of things. One thing that woke me was when I was 14, learning about the Holocaust. And then learning about the civil rights movement, learning about slavery, learning about apartheid. Something I didn't learn in school. I went out my way to get books. I went to the library. I became fascinated in how the hell could human beings be so nasty to one another. That was when I woke. I even set up a club in my sixth form, a few years later, a human rights club to try and get people to get involved. Wasn't much interest. I wrote to a young guy on death row. I got a letter back from him, who was sentenced to death in the state of Louisiana at the age of 16 on dodgy evidence. And of course, a young black guy, convicted by a white jury on highly questionable evidence. Since then, been found not guilty and released. Thank fuck. I've told you before that most people are pretty stupid. Most of us are pretty stupid. I'm stupid with you on many things. Now, politics is something I studied. For some reason, I have no idea why I chose to study politics. I studied it at A level. I became interested and fascinated by it and thought, okay, I want to study this at university. And then I taught it when I was a teacher. I was the head of citizenship, which is a lot of that is about politically related stuff. So my knowledge on that subject became more than most. I certainly wouldn't say I'm an expert, but it became more than most. Politicians don't like me. Not populist politicians. You know who knows best that you're ignorant or that you're stupid? It's the last person to tell you. The people who know that you're stupid, they're not going to tell you. Well, you're either stupid or you're a multi-millionaire. In which case, you're part of the problem as to why the rest of the people are stupid. Because you're probably related to, part of, or have links to the ruling elite who want to keep the rest of the people stupid. You know why? Because then slogans and soundbites like these work really well. Get Brexit done. Get Brexit done. Get Brexit done. Jews are rats. Take back control. Get Brexit done. Get Brexit done. Take back control. Tutsis are cockroaches. Get Brexit done. Get Brexit done. Get Brexit done. Make America great again. Make America great again. Make America great again. You only gave me 30 seconds. But give me Jews are rats several years. Tutsis are cockroaches. Get Brexit done. Or even just a few weeks and it might sink in. Because if you're stupid and you have no comeback to what you're being told to think, why would you question it? Why would you think anything else? Yeah. Get Brexit done. That's going to answer all the problems. Yeah. Jews are rats. Because they cause all the problems. Yeah, those Tutsis are causing my problems. Because I'm a Hutu. And I'm a second-class citizen, or a third-class citizen, after the whites and then the Tutsis, who the Belgians loved. It's those Tutsis who are cockroaches. Yeah, let's vote for a TV star with a blonde wig and an orange tan. And we can make America great again, if you're white. Because I don't have a comeback. And actually, I don't care how it affects anybody else. Because for me, that works. I've said to you several times that I actually think Brexit is highly immoral. There are people out there who say, NATO keeps peace in Europe. NATO keeps peace in Europe. Armies keep peace. You know what armies do keep peace? Soldiers standing at borders, tanks pointing at each other, a big red button threatening a nuclear attack. Yeah, they do help keep peace. But they don't make a lasting, meaningful peace. For meaningful peace, there has to be a genuine coming together of minds, and there has to be genuine cooperation between those countries. NATO doesn't do that. Organisations allow old enemies to come together and say, look, let's work together finally. Let's come together. Let's pool resources. That might mean pooling sovereignty, not giving up sovereignty, but working with others to make decisions together. Rather than blowing each other up, rather than shooting at each other, rather than rounding up people we don't like and putting them on trains and gassing them en masse, or shooting them into pits. Let's work together. Let's look beyond our differences and recognise, actually, we're all the same. The only real difference is now that separates us are the people who are woke and the people who aren't woke, who don't give a fuck. I have lots of interests and passions in my life that take up my spare time. Doing this. Politics is one of them. And you might think, why the hell would you be interested in politics? I have no idea. I lose a lot of sleep. But I don't lose as much sleep over politics as the memories I have in my head every single night about events that I was never even alive for. Events I didn't lose any ancestors in. Events I didn't cause, I didn't solve, I didn't cause. I can't go to bed in silence. Because if I do, I have visions in my head of the most horrific acts of human cruelty. So I have to put the radio or the TV on. And sometimes the images they provide aren't always better, but usually. In my spare time, rightly or wrongly, I spend quite a bit of time reading, learning and watching documentaries and films about the Holocaust or the show. And I've done this since the age of 14, regularly. I'm now 39. And sometimes I wonder, is there something wrong with me? Is this a sign of sickness in my head? For example, I know that Adolf Eichmann he was very interested in Jews. He learned Hebrew. He learned all about Jewish culture, as well as I've done that as well. I'm not Jewish. And yet he went on to mastermind the transportation of Jews to their deaths. And in my head, I'm like, why do I keep watching this stuff? Why do I keep learning about it? It's done. Why do I need to keep knowing about something I know about? Because despite the fact there are arseholes out there who will tell you, it never happened. They'll say to you, oh, they deserved it, or it was war, it was a long time ago, forget about it. What does it mean anymore? What does it matter anymore? And I do it because I feel I have a responsibility, no more than any other human being. I think we all have a responsibility, never to forget. And unfortunately, I think too many of us are beginning to forget. I frequently use a hashtag on Twitter. And the hashtag is, it didn't start with gas chambers. It didn't start with gas chambers. It didn't start with shooting pits. It didn't start with fires and pits of dead bodies. And that's not how it started. It started here. Someone's mouth, saying words. It started with someone writing down words, with thoughts and ideas and putting them on paper and getting them out in the public domain. That's how it started. It started with trying to influence people's minds and thoughts with ideas that they too could share and run with. I'm trying to think. If I'd been alive in 1933 and I was in Germany, and I was alive when the Nazi Party were first elected to Parliament, I keep trying to think. I hope, first of all, because times are different, you never know how you would behave in a certain period of history. What I'd like to think, I would hope, that I would not want to be involved with these people, and that I wouldn't like what I was hearing. Nobody was talking then about gassing and shooting, and they were talking maybe about eradicating, they were talking maybe about getting rid of the Jewish problem. I'm sure then nobody in their right mind thought the ending that occurred was the ending that they envisaged. Well, maybe some did, but I'm sure most people did not. Nobody thinks the worst. Particularly when somebody is elected on a wave of optimism, you want to think the best. You might think some of the things that leader is saying are lies, or they're just telling you things which are too good to be true. But you want to believe the good things that person is saying, because your life at the moment, as you think, stinks. And you don't give a fuck if anyone else is going to suffer. Because you don't believe they really will. And if they do, so what? I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be all right, right? I would also like to think if I was alive at 1933, that I wouldn't want to be associated with such people. It would probably be a dangerous thing to do, but I wouldn't want to have anybody who was associated with the Nazi party or that mentality as friends. I wouldn't want to bring that into my life. Why would I? If only for my sheer safety might make me change my mind. Luckily at the moment, with my British friends, there's no threats of violence as far as I know from anybody saying, if you don't befriend a Leaver or somebody who voted for Boris Johnson, your life could become very miserable. I don't believe that would ever be the case. I don't believe that in the United Kingdom anything near like the Holocaust could ever happen. But that's probably what Germans thought in 1933 too. The furthest thing from their imagination. How could you even imagine other human beings doing that to other human beings? But it doesn't start with gas chambers. Hopefully, it won't end with gas chambers. But there are steps along the way. And some of those steps are not loud steps. Some of them are small, quiet steps that you might not even notice. Get Brexit done. Choose rats. Tutties and cockroaches. Make America great again. And I've thought about this a lot. I saw somebody I knew recently get very angry. She's an Italian woman who now lives in Wales. She got so angry about the election of Boris Johnson. So angry. And she said, listen, I'm sorry, but if you voted for Boris, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. Part of me thought, don't do that. People are allowed to vote however they want to vote. Don't lose friends over it. Don't do that. You really want to lose your friends? And then another part of me thought, you go, girl. You stand up for what you believe in. Why would you want these people as your friends? They clearly don't like you very much. As a European living in the UK, and how it's going to affect you, they don't give a fuck about that. As long as they get Brexit done. Take back control. Keep the foreigners out. Choose rats, choose cockroaches. Make America great again. And so I'm going to support her. Boris Johnson wants to bring the country together again. I don't want to live a life of hating, but I don't hate people. I don't hate people who voted Leave. I don't hate people who voted Boris Johnson. It's your right to do so. But I don't like you very much. I said, I don't like you very much. Particularly if you voted Leave and you still believe it. It's fine. I don't have to like you. You don't have to like me. You're not going to like me anyway. And I would ask kindly that if you're on my Facebook and you follow me I don't want you to. I don't want you to follow me. I don't want to spend time talking with, or reading comments from, or looking at videos of people who I strongly disagree with. And that's not because I'm not up for debate. Listen, I'll leave my Twitter open. Twitter's for debate. You want to follow me on Twitter, you go right ahead. But I don't want you on my Facebook. It's a bit more personal. So please, if you voted leave and still believe it, if you change your mind, I've got other issues with you, but okay, fine. If you voted leave and still believe it, and if you voted for Boris just now, please, I'm sorry. You could be friends who are quite close friends of mine. You could be members of my family. Fine. You made choices, I made choices. I don't want your negativity in my life. I don't want to be around that mentality. I have plenty of opportunity to engage with it, to read about it, to argue with it, to debate with it. I don't need to be around it. Just like I wouldn't bring a neo-fascist into my house just because, have them as my friends. I have no problem having a debate with them, exposing them, but I'm not going to have them in my house. I don't want them learning about my pets, learning about my family. I don't want you people close to me. Because I think you are immoral, the decisions you've made on this one issue, and I think it's a big issue. And it scares me a lot. It didn't begin with gas chambers. Hopefully it will not end with gas chambers or anything like it. But every little step is a warning sign. And I do not want to be complicit in that. I do not want to be associated with it. So please. I'm going to disable comments down here. I don't want any comments. I don't need to hear from you. You don't need to tell me you're leaving. You don't need to tell me you're unfriending me. Just go. Just go. Thank you for respecting me, for my decision. I respect you for your decision. I respect you for your right to think what you want. But I don't want it in my life. I don't even live in the UK. I don't even need friends in the UK anymore. And the ones I'm going to keep, I want to know that they are of the kind of moral fibre. And yes, this is coming from an ex-prostitute and porn star, but people who I can stand by and say, you know what, I have no issue being a friend with this person. So, if you're going to leave me, because you're being honest about how you voted, thank you for your friendship. Best of luck in life in 2020 and beyond. Hope Brexit works out for you. If you're not leaving me, but you did vote for Boris Johnson, and you did vote for leave, and you still believe it, and I find out, I'll block you anyway. So just go. I don't want to be a bystander. I don't want to be part of that mind frame. So thanks. Much love to you all. Hope you had a great Christmas and have a wonderful time between Christmas and New Year. I might try to speak to you again. This has been a long video, but I hope you understand why.